All right, you guys, and welcome back to another game previews. It is your guy Alex, and I am here with another game previews. Well, in this game previews, it is two teams who played against each other last season. In the beginning of the season, Bullhorns and Thunder. Well, let's take a look at these teams' history. Well, last season the Bullhorns ended the season as 5-3 with a good record, went into the tournament and fumbled. So this is technically a good chance for the Bullhorns this season to end the season as 4-4 and get another chance in the tournament and the playoffs. Well, in the beginning of the season, the Bullhorns took a win over Thunder, took a loss to the Redbirds, a win over the Tigers, then another win over the Tigers, and then a win over the Roadrunners, win over the Chargers, loss to the Redbirds, and then a loss to the Roadrunners. Then after that, went into the tournament, and it wasn't good enough for them as they had a 0-3 loss. The Roadrunners beat them 121, then put up 131, and then 138. And you can kind of say this was a back-to-back 100-point game between the Bullhorns and Roadrunners. This season, though, the Bullhorns look to change it up this season as they are 3-4, and they may be looking forward to just more than that this season than by them trying to pull off all the effort and strings that they need to win this game here. This season, though, it was different as this time Thunder took the win over the Bullhorns. So most likely, if you look at it, this one could be favored to Thunder for Thunder to pick up a second win over the Bullhorns, but I'm most likely sure this one could be favored to the Bullhorns. In the beginning of the season, the Bullhorns took a loss to Thunder, then a win over the Bulldogs, and then they took a loss to the Red Wolves, a loss to the Bears, a win over the Chargers, loss to the Redbirds, and then a win over the Bulldogs. So this one could really put the Bullhorns in the deep end. If only we can find out how far it's going to put them into this game here. Well, let's take a look at how many games these teams been in this season. As we know, David Hall's been in 3 games. Mason Ferguson been in 5 games this season. Jay Orlington, 5 games. Jay McDaniels, 3. Roy Ferguson, 4. Clyde Cuff, 1. Kyle McRowley, 1. Jaden McKinney, 1. Paul McKinney, 1. McKinley Jones, 3. Jeffrey Addison, 3. Mason Wooden, 3. Jake Hardy, 1. Paul Middleton, 4. George Northington, 5. And Kyle West, 3. All 3 of these men have been doing very well this season by being in games. Mostly Mason Ferguson has brought up most of the points in the game, 89 points. Jay Orlington, 93 points this season. George Northington, though, 106 points this season. 106 points this season, and that's some good points. Well, let's take a look and see what could be done in this game. Kyle West, 26 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. Paul McKinley, 25 points, 4 assists. Jaden McKinney, 24 points, 4 assists. Mason Wooden, 22.3 points and 1.7 assists. Kyle McRowley, 22 points, 2 assists. Jay McDaniels, 21.7 points, 1.7 assists, and 2 rebounds. George Northington, 21.2 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds. Clyde Cuff, not that far behind, 21 points and 2 assists. McKinley Jones, 19.7 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. Roy Ferguson, 18.8 points, 1.8 assists, 8 rebounds. Jay Orlington, 18.6 points, 1.8 assists, and 6 rebounds. Paul Middleton, 18.3 points, 2.3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Mason Ferguson, 17.8 points, 2.6 assists, and 1.2 rebounds. David Hall, 17.3 points, 2.7 assists, and 1.3 rebounds. Jeffrey Addison, the same, 9.7 points, 1.3 assists, and 1.3 rebounds. Jake Hardy, 9 points and 2 assists. So that's what we could be looking for from the Bullhorns. Thunder, on the other hand, this season is 2-4-1 after their tied matchup against the Bear Cubs this season. But let's take a look how they did last season. Last season, it all started off with with Thunder taking a loss to the Bullhorns, securing a win over the Spikers, a win over the Bears, a loss to the Red Wolves, a loss to the Army Men, a win over the Tigers, a win over the Spikers, and a loss to the Bear Cubs. Were able to advance in the tournament and had a 3-1 lead over the Spikers, as in the first game, Spikers took over 130-128, and then it was all Thunder, 161, 114, and 120. That is at least a lot of points into that game from those 3 games over the Spikers. Advanced into the playoffs and had a 2-1 over the Red Wolves. The Red Wolves got the first game 116-114, and then it was Thunder putting up 160 points. And then they added on to that 160 with 124 in the third game. Went to the championship game, got the win over the Roadrunners, 144-142, which that was a very high-pitched game between Thunder and the Roadrunners. Now, this season has been a very difficult season for Thunder, as they haven't been able to pull off that much offense as they normally did in the previous season. Got a win over the Bullhorns, took a loss to the Spikers, a win over the Roadrunners, lost to the Army Men, a tied game between them and the Bears. The Bear Cubs took another loss to the Army Men, and then a loss to the Red Wolves. But even though if Thunder do win this game against the Bullhorns, they will not have a chance in the tournament or the playoffs. They will be eliminated from the season entirely. So a win wouldn't even do it for Thunder. So most likely the projections will go. The productions will go to the Bullhorns to give the Bullhorns the opportunity that they want. That is the tournament, and for them to find their way into the playoffs if they can get there. Well, let's look at the players for this team. Jake Underwood, 38 points, 2 assists. Jason Alvarado, 34 points, 1 assist. Derek Wilson, 30 points, 1 assist. Carmelo Wilson, 27.5 points, 2.5 assists. Justin DeVille, 25.5 points, and 2 assists. Carmelo Waves, 24.3 points and 1.7 assists. Jaden Washington, 23.5 points, 2 assists, 8 rebounds. Jason Brown, 22 points, 2.3 assists, and 8 rebounds. Malachi Stevens, 21.8 points, 2 assists, 8 rebounds. Hayden Paul, 20 points, 2.3 assists. Deshaun Wong, 19.5 points, 2 assists, and 1.3 rebounds. AJ Moore, 19.5 points and 5 assists. Steven Washington, 19 points, 2.3 assists, and 1.3 rebounds. DJ Morrison, 18 points, 1 assist. Mason Sullivan, 17.3 points, 7 assists. Nakai Carter, 16.5 points, 2 assists. So those are the players you need to look at for this game. This game will be interesting. It is Bullhorns Thunder, the final game tomorrow. These are your game previews.